Okay, so here you will see the hip bone, right? Both the side. You'll find two hip bone, left and right. No, so you can see this one will be your right hip and this one will be your left hip, right? Because when you will see any specimen from anterior side, okay, your left will be specimen's right and your right will be specimen's left, right? So this one will be the right hip and this one will be the left hip. Okay, so two hip bone, along with that here you will find the sacrum. Okay, and at the end of the sacrum here you will find there is the presence of coccyx, right? Okay, so this is the basic thing that I am telling you, so don't be boring with my teaching. Okay, so here you'll find as this is the hip bone, this hip bone can be divided into three parts. As you know that here is your acetabulum, right? And from this acetabulum, if you draw a y over here, okay, so see, if you draw a y shaped thing over here, right, then you can imagine that just above or whatever it is visible, right, here all this thing, that will be the ilium, right? That is your ilium. And here whatever it is visible at this point, right, uh, up to here, no, so this is your symphysis pubis, right? So here this is your pubic bone. Okay, this is your pubic bone. Okay, and this is your ilium. Okay, and whatever present below to it, right here, no, so this whole is all this thing, na? So this is your ischium. Right, so ilium, ischium and pubis, right? In this way we can divide the hip bone into three parts. Okay, and here it makes a joint. Okay, so this is the joint, right, between the sacrum and the ilium, right? So this joint is known as your, all physiotherapists they know, SI joint, no, sacroiliac joint, right? So this sacroiliac joint you'll find over here, and here you'll find the symphysis pubis, right? And here this white part, that is the cartilage, no, so this is a cartilaginous type of joint, acetabulum. So the acetabulum that articulates with the head of your femur, no, and that makes the hip joint. Okay, hip joint, so hip joint is a type of your synovial type of joint. Okay, hip joint is synovial type of joint, but here the union of two pubic bones, that makes the fibrous joint. Okay, and that that type of joint is symphysis type of joint. Okay, because symphysis means the type of joint which is present at the axial line, no, as you know that all the vertebrae they makes the joint with separated by a intervertebral disc, no, and that is also a symphysis type of joint. Okay, and here in the mandible you will find the two half of the mandible, they just united together at the median plane, no, that is also as a symphysis type of joint. So that is known as your symphysis menti, no, in mandible you'll find the symphysis menti. Okay, and that is also present at the axial line. Okay, axial plane, median plane. Okay, so all these joints whatever it is present at the midline, at the median plane, they are known as the symphysis type of joint. What is symphysis? Symphysis means any joint that is a little movable joint. Okay, little movable, not freely movable. Okay. So the symphysis type of joint, that is actually separated by a cartilage or a fibrous disc. Okay. So this type of joints are symphysis joints. Okay. They are little movable. Okay. Then here we will see the parts of this hip bone, right? And this whole whatever it is visible, that is your iliac crest. Okay, so here you will see this one is your crest, no? Which crest? The iliac crest. Okay, and here at this point you will find this iliac crest. It ends anteriorly, and it ends at the posteriorly also, right? So at the anterior end, this particular region, okay, this region will be known as your anterior superior iliac spine. Okay, is known as your ASIS, right? Everyone know, and this is the landmark, no, to measure the leg length, and so many other things are there, no? And here you will find there is a presence of your posterior superior iliac spine. Here is your anterior superior iliac spine, and here you will find the posterior superior iliac spine. Okay, like that you will see that this hip bone anteriorly it runs downward. Okay, and again it comes forward, right? And here it makes another point over here. Okay, so this is your anterior, but it is present inferiorly, right? So antero inferior. Okay, anterior inferior, what is that? Iliac spine. Okay, AIIS. Okay, like that at this point, okay, you will find there is the posterior inferior iliac spine. Okay, so ASIS, AIIS, PSIS and PIIS. Okay, these 4 points, they are the landmark, okay, for the hip bone over here. Okay, mainly the part of the ilium. Okay, then here at this point whatever it is present, no, this is the ventral part of the hip bone, or you can say the anterior surface of the hip bone, that is concave in nature, and that represents with a large fossa over here, no? So this is the large fossa, the depression. Okay, so this fossa is known as your iliac fossa. Iliac fossa. Okay, so this is your iliac fossa. So this iliac fossa that gives origin to the iliacus muscle, right? It gives origin to iliacus muscle. Okay, then here you will find the ASIS. So this ASIS, it gives origin to the sartorius muscle. Okay, it gives origin to sartorius muscle. Okay, along with that it also gives attachment to your inguinal ligament. Okay, it gives attachment to inguinal ligament. It also gives origin to the sartorius muscle, right? Like that here we will find the ASIS. So this ASIS, it gives origin to the, who can say, this one, rectus femoris muscle. Okay, it gives origin to rectus femoris muscle, the chief head of the rectus femoris muscle, because the reflected head of the rectus femoris, that will take origin just above to the acetabular labrum. Okay, here. So here it gives the chief head, and here it gives the reflected head of the rectus femoris muscle. Okay, then here you will find the iliac crest, and you know that this iliac crest, it gives origin to your internal oblique muscle. Okay, and also it gives origin to your transverse abdominis muscle. Okay, and it gives insertion to the external oblique muscle. Okay, so external oblique muscle insertion will be here. Okay, here you can observe. Just I will make it. Okay. Okay, so here you can see it gives insertion to external oblique muscle, origin to internal oblique, and the transverse abdominis muscle. Right? These three muscles they take attaches. Okay, they attach to the iliac crest. Okay, so this iliac crest that starts from the ASIS to the PSIS. Okay, all over this convex shaped part is known as your iliac crest, and at this end you can see ASIS is here. If you will go 5 cm lateral from the ASIS, okay, posteriorly and laterally, here you will find a tubercle. Okay, so this tubercle is known as your pubic tubercle. What is that? Iliac tubercle. This is your iliac tubercle. Okay, tubercle means any protrusion, no, that is coming out, right? So here you'll find the iliac tubercle. So this iliac tubercle, it is also a landmark because here you'll find the origin of a muscle, right? From this ASIS to the pubic tubercle. Not pubic, iliac tubercle. In between that, whatever the space is there, that gives origin to a muscle. No, that is a very small muscle, but it is a long fascia that is running downward. Who can say what will be this muscle?
Tensor fascia lata.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, lata. Okay, so tensor fascia lata that takes origin from this space, right? Okay, fine. Then here what we'll see. So these some of the muscles that it is mostly required during the study of pelvis, right? But if you want to study the hip bone, then that is a different thing. That will take some more classes, but only we will focus over the pelvis. So to know the pelvis, we need to know some of the basic things, right? Okay. So here you'll see, you can see this one is the part of your ilium. Okay, and that is rough in nature. Okay, and it is ear shape, no, ear shape. Okay, so that's why that is known as your ala of the sacrum. What is that? Not sacrum, ilium. Okay, so that is the ala of the ilium. Here you will find the ala of the ala, ala of the sacrum. No, so they just articulate with each other, and here they makes the SI joint. Okay, so at this point you will find the ligament, right? That will be the anterior sacroiliac ligament, and posteriorly you will find the posterior sacroiliac ligament. Okay, then from this sacrum you will find that there are some other ligaments. They just attaching from the lower 2/3 part of the sacrum and the upper part of your coccyx. Okay, and they are coming to downward and laterally, and they attaches over here, no, posteriorly to the this tuberosity. No, so this tuberosity is known as your ischial tuberosity. Ischial tuberosity. Okay, so this is there is a ligament, no. So this ligament that is coming from the lower 2/3 part of the sacrum and from the coccyx, that is these fibers are running downward and laterally, and they attaches to the ischial tuberosity. Okay, and this ligament will be known as your sacrotuberous ligament. Okay, so what you'll find over here, you'll find there is the ligament that is coming down over here. Okay, So this is the main ligament that is present over here. No, this ligament is known as your sacrotuberous ligament. What is that? Sacro, because it is coming from the sacrum, and tuberous. Okay, sacrotuberous ligament. Okay, because to the ischial tuberosity, from the sacrum to the ischial tuberosity, right? So this large ligament that actually stabilizes the sacrum, okay, and hip bone, right? Both, because when the shearing force will be there, okay, or the compression force will be there over here, okay, at that time the lower part of the sacrum that may shifted posteriorly, okay. At that time this sacrotuberous ligament that holds the sacrum against this pelvis, right? Like that, also you will find another ligament. That ligament that is from the sacrum, okay, from the sacrum, lower part of the sacrum, and from the upper part of the coccyx towards the ischial spine, right? So whatever I am showing you over here, this is this is your what is that? This is your ischial spine, okay, ischial spine, right? So this ligament will be the sacrospinous ligament because it is attaching to the spine of the hip bone. No, so this is the part of your ischium. This is ilium. This is the ischium. So this spine is coming out. No, here you can see this spine is just coming out. Okay, so this is your ischial spine. Okay, and to this whatever this ligament is attached, that is known as your sacrospinous ligament. Okay, sacrospinous ligament. Okay, so two ligament you will find over here, and this sacrospinous ligament that actually that also gives the extra strength, okay, to the sacrum, that should be in its proper position against this hip bone, okay. Then here the sacrotuberous ligament that actually divides this area, right? So what is this area? This area is your sciatic notch, no? So what is this? This is your greater sciatic notch. Greater sciatic notch. Okay, so this greater sciatic notch through which your sciatic nerve, okay, that is just coming out, and along with that you will find the superior gluteal artery, inferior gluteal artery, okay, they will also come out. Along with that you will find the presence of your key muscle. No, what is that muscle? That muscle will be the piriformis muscle. No, very important in physiotherapy, right? Piriformis muscle. Okay, so the piriformis muscle, the sciatic nerve, the superior gluteal artery, inferior gluteal artery, okay, they will be the content of this greater sciatic notch. Okay, but now due to the presence of this sacrotuberous ligament, okay, that notch become the foramen, okay, and now this foramen is the greater sciatic foramen, okay. Like that below here, no, at this point you will find another foramen here. No, it is not visible from anterior side, but if you will see from posterior side, you will see, okay, below to the ischial spine and above to this ligament, okay, you will find another foramen. That foramen will be your lesser sciatic foramen. Lesser sciatic foramen. Okay, so this lesser sciatic foramen, that is the passage way, okay, for your pudendal nerve, okay, and for your pudendal artery and the vein. Along with that, the there is a muscle is there. That muscle is your gemini muscle. No, the superior gemini, inferior gemini, okay. and obturator internus muscle. Okay, they are the tendon of obturator internus that is also passing through this lesser sciatic foramen. Here you'll find another foramen over here, no? So this foramen is known as your obturator foramen. Okay, and this obturator foramen, it is just covered by a membrane, right? So this membrane is known as your obturator membrane. Okay, so this obturator membrane, it is important, clinically important, because here it is the outer side of the obturator membrane, but from the inner side of the obturator membrane, there will find the thickening of the obturator membrane. Okay, thickening of obturator membrane, and from this thickening of the obturator membrane, your what is that? The levator ani muscle originates. No, levator ani muscle. Okay, so the levator ani muscle that takes origin from the inner surface of this obturator membrane. Okay, then from this outer border or outer ridge of this obturator foramen, you'll find the origin of your a muscle. No, what is that muscle? From here you'll see there is the another muscle. No, so that muscle takes origin from the outer border of the obturator foramen, and also that takes origin from your obturator membrane. Okay, so this muscle will be known as your obturator externus muscle. Obturator. Okay, obturator externus muscle. Okay, like that, inside the obturator membrane. Okay, in the same way, from the internal surface, you'll find there is the origin of your obturator internus muscle. Okay, obturator internus, and all they takes insertion at the femur, no, femur, right? So obturator externus and obturator internus. Okay, so these are some points that you have to remember during our pelvis. Okay, fine. Now we'll proceed to our real topic. Okay, that is the pelvis. Here you can see this line. So this line indicates as a pelvic brim. Okay, what is that? That is the pelvic brim. Pelvic brim. Okay, so what is this pelvic brim? This pelvic brim is the boundary. Okay, that is actually drawn from the sacral promontory posteriorly. See here, no, this one is the sacral promontory. Okay, the first sacrum but anterior border, no, so that will be known as your sacral promontory. And you have to remember that the sacral promontory, it is more convex in male. Okay, more convex in male. Okay, and it is flat or little bit what you can say, it is convex only, but it is, if it is shallowed, okay, then that is the female. Okay, female, they don't have the much prominent. Okay, that is the less prominent, you can say. Okay, to increase the space, no, the space of your pelvic cavity. Okay, the sacral promontory is less prominent in female, but in male you'll find it is more prominent and more convex forward. Okay, that is also one of the identification feature to identify the sacrum or to the articulated. This is known as your articulated pelvis. Okay, because it is articulated with the sacrum and the hip bone, right? Then here you will see here this border, no, this is the ala of the sacrum, right? and this is the sacral promontory. Okay, and here you'll see this is your arcuate line. Okay, what is this line? This line is the arcuate line. Arcuate line of your what is this bone? This bone is the ilium, right? So this is your arcuate line. Okay, arcuate line, and here you'll find this line, right? This is the line of your pubic bone, right? Here you'll find here, no, this line, this is the part. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. It is very much visible.
So this is actually pubic crest, no? This is known as your pubic crest. Okay. Then here you'll find it, this from the pubic tubercle, whatever the line it is going towards the arcuate line, that is your pectineal line. Pectineal line. Okay. Have you heard about the pecten pubis? No. So this is the pecten pubis. Okay. And at the center you'll find the symphysis pubis. That means the pelvic brim can be bounded anteriorly by the pubic crest, pubic tubercle, and the pectineal line. Posteriorly, it is bounded by the sacral promontory and the ala of the sacrum. Okay, and laterally, it is bounded by the arcuate line of the ilium. Okay, so this whole brim, okay, a basin-like structure, right?